them. Where did it go wrong?
Well, I think the Democratic Party, in the eyes of a lot of working class voters, in the eyes of a lot of men who overwhelmingly turned out for Trump in this election, kind of view the Democratic Party as a professional fainting society. You know, I mean, we're offended by everything. We don't, have our eye on the real ball here, which is people being crushed in the economy, or we don't have our eye on the border. We don't have our eye on the world chaos. What we have our eye on is running around scolding everyone and being offended by everyone. I mean, that's no way to run a political party and then be surprised when average, everyday working people turn out against you. So
that's CNN token conservative and potential Trump pick for White House press secretary Scott Jennings telling establishment media hacks some hard truths about why Democrats lost the election. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and it's no secret that I'm a big fan of Scott Jennings and how he calmly dismantles the progressive pod people on CNN. It's frankly one of my favorite things to discuss on the channel, and it's led to a lot of you making the case that Trump should pick him for press secretary, which according to Axios isn't as far-fetched as it sounds. Quote, one of President-elect Donald Trump's staunchest defenders on CNN is in the running to serve as the next White House press secretary. Scott Jennings, who previously served as an aide to former President George W. Bush and Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell, has become a regular on panels discussing Trump and the Republican Party, where he often raises the ire of the panel by defending Trump's most outrageous statements and actions. In recent months, other CNN commentators have grown increasingly agitated with Jennings over his gradually more animated outbursts to go to bat for Trump. Reportedly, Trump is seriously considering either him or campaign spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt. Now, the article did go on to mention that competition is fierce and even includes names like Alina Habba and former Fox News personality Monica Crowley making their cases. Which is nice and all, but I've got to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Jennings in the press room, especially with performances like this.
These people have become pathetic. I mean, they stopped being comedians and they started becoming political activists. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel out here crying. I mean, it's pathetic. And so my question is, if you're going to have a late night comedy show, at some point people might expect it to be funny and not just a constant political screed against one party. And I don't know that this activism for 4 more years is sustainable if you're going to market something as comedy, but the actual product is nothing more than sort of lowbrow political activism. Just one other point. During the Biden years, there was nobody that provided more comedy fodder possible than Joe Biden. I mean, he was a walking...
He was made fun of.
He was absolutely not.
He was left alone.
Harris was left alone.
No.
They got nothing. They didn't get 10% of what they deserved.
He's too old. He doesn't understand. I mean, he seemed like Gerald Ford, the way they portrayed Gerald Ford.
SNL never got Biden right until Carvey came in the last couple of weeks.
They never got the White House.
Can you imagine if half of the press briefings were like that? I mean, I know there are a lot of people who could do this job and toast regime media puppets like Kayleigh McEnany, but Jennings is a little different because he does it in such a friendly and disarming Southern way that I can't help but root for him as Trump's pick. But let me know what you think. Would you support Jennings as press secretary? If not, who would you like to see Trump appoint? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!